programs. And the ones that I supposedly qualify for are not even being offered to me.
They are ignoring all HIPAA laws right now.
They tell me that, you know, we can help you do this or we can help you do that, but I don't see any results. And if I do see results, DHS is not getting up to accommodate them when they try to help me. Right. So it discourages the people who are trying to help me. And when I ask about my son's condition, because he needs stability, when at any given time they can come knock on my unit door and tell me that it's time for me to go. Where's the stability in that?
That's
and they're
right.
supposed to help accommodate people. You know what they told me? We don't accommodate by handicap. We accommodate by the size of the family.
Thereby encouraging more kids to come in.
How does that work? And I'm asking for a fair chance. I'm not one who wants Section 8. I'm not one who wants housing. I just want to be able to get back up on my feet. I have fallen into a circumstance where life has thrown me a curveball that I couldn't catch. I want to go back to work.
Right.
I want to be able to have my own place and pay my own rent where I don't have to live on PA. I've never lived on PA in my entire life. I've worked my whole life, but I have a handicapped son that has to come first.
Right.
And when I went through my divorce, I couldn't afford everything alone. Then I wound up where I am. I'm not happy to say that I live here, nor do I want to live here, and I keep pushing the issue, but there is only so much I can do. And I can't enforce anybody to do anything more than what they're already trying to do. It's just DHS needs to step up their game and do their job, and they're not.
Right, and their attitude is just because they've given you something, they've done their job, but in reality, they haven't.
They have not given me anything. It's the community that has given me something,
right.
Because they're paying for where.
That's right.
And DHS forgets that because of people like myself, they have a job. They are one paycheck away from being where I'm at. And all it takes is one slip up for them to not have a job. Then where's that leave them?
That's right.
I want to be in a house like this again. I've owned my own home. I've lost it due to unfortunate circumstances, and I've never lived like this in my life.
Stephanie, we want you to understand, we've said it over and over at every single one of our rallies. These protests are not about the individuals in the shelters. We understand the circumstances, and as you said, the curveball that was thrown at you, you can catch. People find themselves, everybody finds themselves in those situations every now and then. It's this policy that you most clearly spoke about that's not helping. Putting you in a hotel room and giving you that anxiety that at a moment's notice you have to be told you gotta go. Who could live like that?
I sleep in my kitchen.
You sleep in your kitchen?
I sleep in my kitchen.
How much of a room do you have? It's a cube, so it's one room.
Yeah, no closets, no nothing, and we have to live at bare minimum.
And as the gentleman said, at what, 160 a night? You do the math. I'm pretty good at math.
I've heard, I'm not too sure how it is, but I've heard it's $87 per person a day.
That's what they charge you?
Per person. I have 3 times 87. I'm not absolutely positive, but that's what I've heard.
That they're charging you? Or?
That they're charging.
Oh, the city.
Yes.
At 87, that still puts it at close to $3,000. There's apartments that could be had, at least in Sunset Park, I could speak about that, that is half the price of that. That would give you a private bedroom, private bathroom, and kitchen cooking facilities, without the threat of having a knock on the door saying, you know what, you have to be relocated today. And then at that point, you could get up on your feet. There was a program that the city had at one time, it was called Link. And they were getting funded, and we had filled up a number of units.
There's another thing with Link. A lot of landlords don't want to accept Link because they are saying DHS, it's not the person who they give Link to, it's Link themselves. The DHS do not want to pay after a certain time if they give the landlord a hard time to run around. This is why you have such the high rate of people not wanting to accept. And it's their right as a landlord to not want to have to go through that hassle.
Well, in regards to that Link program, we filled up a number of units with that Link program. Then all of a sudden, the landlords, when they signed the agreement with the city, it was supposed to be at least a 1-year agreement. And then from there on, it would be negotiated. Then the landlords got a letter saying that, guess what, the funding is over. The payments are stopping. What do you mean the payments are stopping? We signed a 1-year contract. Lo and behold, it went into litigation. The state won. They don't have to fund it no more. The city backed out of it, leaving all these people that were taken from shelters and put into an apartment and starting the semblance of a normal life to be now faced with eviction proceedings in housing court. And about a dozen or so units that we had filled up from my office, every single one of them was evicted. Every single one of them, only to go from the shelters to an apartment, back to the shelters, which now they're probably in a hotel room. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of nonsense is that?
It's a business. You can't steal as much. It's a business. That's why they don't want them in they want them in a hotel because it's a business.
And one other thing I want to challenge the state representatives in the Assembly and in the State Senate, that I want to challenge one of them to have the guts to put up the bill to make New York a non-resident state.
Right to shelter.
A right to shelter. Right now, New York is not a resident-only state, and it should be. They should make it a resident-only state so that only the residents of New York and New York only will be eligible for shelter here. And if we use those other laws we talked about, and we bring back the Section 8 system, and we use the properties that the city has, and we do one other thing that we can help with our veterans, is faith-based shelters that used to be in each neighborhood that would allow people to stay, and a church would allow 10 to 15 people per night to stay in their parish. It was seasonal. It was 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. People got meals, clothing, and then during the day, they were looking for work. The bottom line here is she shouldn't be treated the way she's being treated, and anyone in the system right now who Mayor de Blasio thinks that he's helping, ladies and gentlemen, he's not helping them. He's helping himself because the money that these hotel owners make, they contribute to his campaign. And we have to stop that, and we have to stop him, we have to get rid of him, and we have to make sure that by doing that, we clean up this system, because folks, the solutions will work. It's just that Mayor de Blasio does not want to listen to them because he doesn't care. He cares about making sure that he gets people off the street into hotels, and all that's doing is hurting those people and increasing the number of people who are homeless in the city of New York. Folks, solutions, not shelters, is what we need to implement, and if we do that, our city will be a better place, and all the people that are in the shelter system now will see that they can assimilate into neighborhoods and not be treated as if they were criminals or animals, because they're not. And that is the stigma that this man across the street, Banks, and the mayor have made for these people who are just working to get their lives back on track. And there's no reason why they should be punished, because the mayor of the city of New York could care less about them and only how much money is going to go into his re-election coffers.
Right.
So with that, I say solutions, not shelters. Solutions, not shelters. Solutions, not